Oh, once again, you have reached PayDirt. I'm your host, Brandon Harry, a.k.a. B-Dirt, with your host on location, Pay Saunders. How's it going, Pay?
Man, I can't call it, man. Just living. B, we got to get this one in, man. You got a lot to do at the back end of this week.
Woo! Yeah.
You have a jam-packed weekend, so we have no time to spare, my boy, unless you don't like sleeping.
It's it's not even that. I want to pay for the Wi-Fi and get on while I'm on a bird headed down south. So I'll be flying around the time that we normally record on Wednesday, go live on Wednesday. So we're recording this on Tuesday. If you're catching it with us, we will be back to live next week. But I have some important business to attend to. It's personal life stuff, but we'll call it business. But looking at wedding venues and doing all that kind of crazy stuff,
the fun stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to say two kids in love, but the white hair in my beard doesn't let me get away with calling myself a kid anymore.
Kid at heart.
Yeah, for sure, kid at heart. For sure, kid at heart. Well, listen, let's get into some gambling, some picks. We got half a slate this week, Pay. College football on a little break. So it is what it is. We got plenty of NFL games though, man. Plenty of NFL's buys are over with. We got some good games this week too, man.
Yeah. Some
talk abouters, even if I'm not going to bet them. And there are a couple dogs. There's a couple snoozers. I have very little interest in watching the Ravens play the Giants, but hey.
Parlay pattern.
That's just me. Yeah. Money line. You get minus 950 for that one.
Hey, don't forget, B. College football is on a break, a little sienda, but we are in the quarterfinals of the NBA in-season tournament, the Emirates Cup, if you will.
It's funny you say that. Hey, I don't know if you see, but the top one on my list. My Detroit Pistons are going to Boston Celtics plus 13.5. They played the Celtics pretty tough last time they played them. They ended up pulling ahead there at the end on the free throws and all that kind of jazz. Mm-hmm. But the Pistons kept it within 10, and they're getting 13.5 in Boston. This, I think, has a chance to be a Pistons cover, man. I think this is I think the Celtics win the game. I think it's around an 8 to 10 point game, but I'm gonna take the Pistons to cover this one. How about that? Started off with some NBA.
Yeah, I like the vibes coming out of Detroit. They're not a very good team. They're 10-15, right? I'm not gonna try to blow smoke up anybody's patootie, but the vibes
they're improving.
Right. They're definitely improved year over year. Last year at this time, I think they had 3 wins. They got 10 now. They're relatively healthy for the Detroit Pistons, and I kind of like where you're going with that. Kay Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, they offer a little bit of unique defensive matchup for Boston. I think I'm with you on this 13.5 as a spread. I want to go with that. I think Detroit can keep that a lot closer than 13.
How about it? Starting off with an agreed upon NBA game. What's going on in PayDirt world these days? Yeah. Somebody's watching this for the first time and read the description. Your weekly football gambling pick show. And they said, the Detroit Pistons? What?
I applaud anybody that reads, but you also got a little, be a little flexible.
Absolutely, man. Hey, it's all about finding value. We say it time and time again. Where you find value in picks is where you should take the picks.
Exactly.
I lost a couple of UFC fights last weekend that I just laid 1 unit bets on, but I found value in underdogs, and I almost won both. You know what almost winning both UFC fights get you? $0. Yeah,
that's right.
It's a withdrawal, not a deposit. But I was already up from football. We were 4-2 again last week, Pay. We're over 60% for the season. at 60.3%. So let's go get some on our pick six this week. You got any more NBA games that you'd like to add to this?
So for Wednesday night, I was looking at the Thursday games we talked about, Detroit versus Boston. For Wednesday night,
normally you wouldn't get a pick a Wednesday night game. This is nice.
That's right. That's right. I am a little curious. I do find a little curious what's going on with the Atlanta Hawks and New York Knicks. The Knicks are a 7-point favorite. The total is 236.5. The Knicks have been playing really good ball lately. Really good ball. The Hawks, they haven't been slouches either. I mean, they're not on the Knicks level. I don't want to again blow smoke up your patootie, but 7 might be a bit much. You know, the Hawks are a little bit banged up, but Trae Young has been playing outside of his mind.
Oh, he just had a 30-20 game, man.
Yes, he did. Destroyed the Lakers.
That's a crazy stat line.
It's ridiculous.
30 points and 20 assists.
Right. So the Hawks come into this game, as they said, 7-point dogs. They're 1 game over 500 as compared to the Knicks, who are 15-9. So if I want to take this game. We all remember what happened in 2020 or 2021 when the Hawks upset the Knicks in the playoffs, went into the Garden. Trae Young he bowed like Reggie Miller. Can he be the villain again? I don't know. I think the Knicks, they're good for 7. If one thing's for certain, Tom Thibodeau's going to push it to the limit. He's going to keep those guys out there. You're going to have Jalen Brunson, who's been nursing a little bit of a strained back lately, but he's still out there pushing through. You're going to have Brunson, OG, Cat, Mikal Bridges. They're going to play the game. And everybody's favorite, Jason Hart. So I like the Knicks by 7 in this game.
You know, to your point, the Knicks have started coming around. Obviously had some moving parts this season with the trade for Cat Williams. I think Cat Williams. I can't. Karl Anthony Towns. Sorry. Cat Williams. Funny though. But I think with Cat, you know, he's an interesting spacing player. Probably the best 3-point shooting big we've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you know, it took a little bit of time, I think, at first, getting that spacing, getting used to how he plays defense. That was a big change from Julius Randle, who doesn't. I like this pick, man. I like the Knicks here. The Hawks have been streaky. I just don't think they have the talent to match up from top to bottom with the Knicks. I think the Knicks cover this. I think this is a 10, 12-point game.
Let's put it on the slip. Let's roll.
All right.
Let's get to pigskin. Thursday.
Yeah, we got it. We got a Thursday game. Now hold on a second. Hold on. Real quick. Okay, I want to get a moment of silence. All right, that's for college football. No action. No nothing. We don't get anything until the bowls start. God, I love bowl season though. All right, go ahead.
All right, Thursday night football. We have a divisional game. You know what that means. Tight. LA Rams, they travel north to the Bay Area to see the San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco gets a little home cooking 2 weeks in a row, huh?
Yeah. 2.5 favorite for the home team. Total of 49. Now, we both saw each of these teams' last game this past Sunday, right? I, of course, did not enjoy watching the San Francisco 49ers. But I'm sure
I, of course, did not enjoy you talking me into betting on the Bears.
Yeah, me neither. That was distasteful. And I promise you I won't do it again.
Oh, thank God.
But I think we both enjoyed watching the Rams last week. Well, this past Sunday.
When they're healthy, they're a completely different team.
Completely different team. Who do you think is going to continue that good feeling into this game?
It really comes down to me picking the healthier of the two teams. I think they're very evenly matched, but I think the LA Rams come into this game healthier than the 49ers, and I give them a slight advantage because of that. And you're giving me 2.5 points, I'm going to take it.
I'm going with you on this one. I think the Niners dominant win, take nothing away from them. I think it's a bit of smoke and mirrors. I think they were aided by the fact that the Chicago Bears was a little bit in chaos. Had a lot of moving parts going on around them and their preparation for that game, and the Niners took advantage of it. Make no mistakes about it. I don't think George Kittle can repeat that type of performance. He had 151 yards on 6 catches, 20-yard catch after 20-yard catch. He hasn't had 150 yards since 2021. He's not going to repeat that. Brock Purdy, he's nursing an injured shoulder. Nick Bosa didn't play in that game. Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey are done for the season, so they're nowhere near healthy. Their all-world left tackle Trent Williams, he's hurt. They had another offensive lineman down that game, and they still dominated the Bears. Again, take nothing away from them, but you got to step up at weight classes when you play a division opponent. And the LA Rams, who are healthy, like you said. Brock Purdy, back to his shoulder. He missed 2 games ago while his team was on a 3-game slide. And those 2 games that he did play during that losing streak, he totaled 280 yards combined. He had 300. He had 325 against the Bears. I think the real Brock Purdy is more so in that losing streak versus what you saw this past Sunday against Chicago. I don't think that the Rams, even though their defense isn't all that good, I don't think the Rams have a little bit more in store for them. They're going to press them a lot better. Jared Verse is probably the defensive rookie of the year. He's going to
looks good, doesn't he?
He looks very good. The Bears passed up on him twice, just for good measure.
Okay.
He's going to be in Brock Purdy's kitchen the entire game. He may not get a lot of sacks. He has a lot for a rookie, but he gets a lot of pressures. He can get to you.
Disrupts the game.
He is very, very disruptive. He makes his presence felt. I agree with you. All signs are pointing to the Rams being the better team right now, and it's just our benefit that they are getting 2.5 points. Makes the value on this bet something that you cannot pass up.
Where I give the nod to the Rams too, and this is where I think the Bears went wrong in their game plan against the 49ers. The 2 games leading up to that, they gave up 157 yards rushing and 220 yards rushing. The 49ers did. I think that's where they can got this team as far as on the offensive side of the ball. And Kyron Williams, and don't look now, Blake Corum's getting some totes and looking pretty good. I think that running back duo gives them the advantage there in the running game.
Hail to the victor. All right.
How about?
I'm with it. I like the Rams 2.5. What do you think about the total?
I don't.
I'm gonna stay away from that one.
I don't know what to expect from the 49ers. One day they're hot, one day they're cold. But hey, that wraps up the weekday games here. Since we've only got a small slate here for the NFL and no college, let's take a quick break here. And let's hope that I don't put the ads in when I'm editing this in the moment of silence I took for college football. And we'll take a quick break here, hear from our partners, and we'll be right back after these messages. All right, welcome back to PayDirt. You've got Brandon Harriet, aka PayDirt, and Pay Saunders here. We went through our weekday games. That included a couple of NBA games to start us off since we didn't have college football, excuse me. And now we have the NFL. Thursday night game is done with. Let's get into this weekend. Some good games this weekend. What piques your interest first? I've already passed on that first game, the Ravens at the Giants.
Yeah, we can pass on that one. So we've got a couple of a few games in that 1 o'clock window that are pretty interesting. So the first one that got my attention was your squad, the Bengals against the Tennessee Titans. I'm gonna say it again. The Titans, they were just eliminated from playoff contention last week as they lost a very winnable game to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They couldn't score a touchdown. As of right now, as recording this, we don't know if Will Levis is going to play Sunday, which puts Mason Rudolph, your boy, in the driver's seat for the Tennessee Titans offense. But that's not the story of this game. You got this high-flying Bengals offense against a very tepid Tennessee offense, right? So it may be a little bit of an off day for that defense. So it should give you all the advantage, right? I mean, reasonable minds would think that, right?
And these two teams, they know each other a little bit. Mason Rudolph obviously played against the Bengals quite a bit. And Brian Callahan came over as the offensive coordinator for the Bengals as head coach as the Titans.
That's true. But on the other side of the ball is where I'm paying attention to. So the Tennessee Titans have been a pretty good defense majority of the season. At one point, they were the top 2 defense in the league. They're still, I mean, they've got the horses, they've got the players.
They've been on the field too much too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, thanks a lot, Will Levis.
Mayo man.
Yeah, your fault. So, where do you think between those two diverging units, where do you think it comes down to with as far as the Bengals being a 5-point favorite going into Tennessee?
Well, you got two teams that are, like I said, familiar with each other. You look at where the advantage is, and to me, it's pretty easy to see where the advantage is. Special seasons being had on one side of the ball by one of these teams. Joe Burrow is first in passing yards with 3,706 right now. He's also first in touchdowns with 33 and only 6 interceptions. Jamar Chase is first in everything. He's got 93 catches, 1,319 yards. He's got 15 tutties. Second is 9 with Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I think when you have people that know what you're going to try and do and what you want to do, the advantage goes to when you have special players. And I think those two are the two most special players will be on that field. I'm going to take the Bengals -5 here. I think they win this one by 8.
Okay.
Only because they can't tackle.
Again, this is the number 2 ranked defense in the league. So, but I'm gonna just put it out there. They're number 2 ranked defense in the league and the number 1 passing defense. They don't give up a lot of yards through the air. Maybe because teams are running against them so much. They're about an average, above average rush defense. So
you know who the number 1 defense was when they played November 17th? That was the Chargers. The Bengals put 27 on the number 1 ranked defense.
Oh, that's good. That's good data.
So I take 31 against number 2. How about that?
All right, that's good data. I like that. You've convinced me. Burrow and that offense. We
don't learn. You talked me into the Bears last week. I talked you into the Bengals this week. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're gluttons for punishment. But it sounds good. Burrow and his offensive machine. They are the answer to every good defense. They got the key. I'm with it.
And our kicker didn't miss any kicks this week. Cade York, welcome.
How you like that, Evan McPherson?
It makes a little more sense now, though, because Evan McPherson was dealing with a pulled groin muscle. So you gotta not have a pulled groin muscle if you're gonna be kicking the ball.
Definitely need your groin.
It's kind of all you need, really. A foot and a groin.
I agree. In fact, in most cases in life, you don't even need the foot. Just the groin.
How about it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's the next game you have on your docket? Let's see if we can stay in unison with this one.
So I'm going to throw this out there. It's a little tease.
Uh-oh.
The Jets lost a game in overtime last week. They played their best game all season last week. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they won a game for the first time since October 20th last week.
Mm-hmm.
They won it without Trevor Lawrence. Who continues
Mac Jones?
The Mac Jones experience?
I thought you were asking me who.
I was going to say, yeah, I like that. Good one. Can you see the Jacksonville Jaguars continue this? Have they found something, or can the Jets play two good games in a row?
I think the Jaguars did find something. Unfortunately, it didn't belong to them, and they're going to have to return it. I think the Jets get back off the schneid here and take this one from the Jags.
I have zero faith in the Jets.
I don't want to bet this game because these two teams are unpredictable.
Yeah. If anything from this game that piqued my curiosity, I mean, anytime I see a 3 spread, I think that's just BS all the way. I was like, you know what? That's more of enough reason for me not to bet, right? And that's what the line is, 3. Okay, a field goal.
Buy it down to 2.5.
Right. That's good. That's good knowledge as well. That's good advice. But I did see the total, 40.5. I can see this game being 17-3 easily.
Ugh. The Jets did. Listen, 3 seasons since we've seen a 300-yard passing game until last week from Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. You think he's going to do it again back-to-back weeks? Absolutely not.
I think he's going to get close. I got him getting 270.
270. There's a lot of 270s. That's a lot of mid. It's a lot of mid. 270 is fine for him though.
Yeah, I don't like this game. I'm staying away from it. But if you got a feeling, man, put it on there.
Oh no. This is the Jaguars are the league's worst defense, and the Jets are the league's most aggravating team in the league. Most aggravating team in the league. I will do exactly what you said. I'm gonna push away from this game, and I'm gonna go to my other darling instead. Now, remember in the preseason, we was talking futures, bets, and all that stuff, and I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself. I said, watch out for those Carolina Panthers. They might be they're going to be a better team, but they might even be a sneaky playoff team in that division. Well, one of them is right. They are a better team. Playoff team, they are not. However, that division is still wide open, just FYI. But they play the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. They actually are a 2.5-point fave. Are you buying the Carolina Panthers as a favorite?
Man, oh man. I was stunned by that, to be honest with you. I didn't think the Cowboys looked that bad. To be a dog to the Carolina Panthers?
Hey, man. Those cats.
No, I think the Cowboys win the game, man.
Really?
I do.
This is that value. It's that value talking about. The Cowboys are a 5-8 team. They're 2 games better than the Carolina Panthers at 3-10.
Am I wishing this into existence because we have a bet with Big G that the Cowboys won't win 6 games?
I thought the bet was over 6.
Well, I really need this then.
All right, so
how about some Cowboys?
Let's think about Let's think about what Dallas does good. I'm blanking. I don't really know.
Talk.
Yeah. Did they suspend Micah Parsons? Is he going to continue playing the rest of this season?
I didn't see a suspension. I did see a tantrum. No, I didn't see a suspension. I think the notes that I heard coming out of Dallas was they all appreciated that he cared, I guess. I don't know. CeeDee Lamb's still good. Rico Dowdell's looked good, but can't get in the end zone. I don't know, man. I don't know. If I like anything in this game, I might like the over.
The over is sitting at right now at 43 points. I mean, that's about fair. You can see that happening. But back to Carolina, like I've said, they've been playing really well. They haven't been winning, right? They've won some games. Obviously, they got 3 wins, but it's not a lot. Not very impressive. But they've been playing well enough to cover a lot of times this season. You've seen some growth out of Bryce Young. You've seen Chuba Hubbard have a career season, so much that he has got an extension already.
And the Cowboys, if they're going to be had, it's going to be that rush defense is not good.
No, it's not, which I like the fact because I got a lot of shares of Chuba on my fantasy squads. Okay. The last 5 times they've played, Dallas has won 3 of them. So if that means anything, you might want to lean Dallas. So this goes back to what we were saying, value. They're a dog. You get the most value taking that dog. So it's crazy right now. But however, and you also want to keep this into perspective. Dallas is 4-9 this season against the spread. Carolina, remember I told you earlier, they've been playing well enough to cover. They're 6-7.
They've had some pretty big lines too.
Maybe Vegas is catching up to give them a little bit more respect.
All right. What's your play on this one?
Now, smart money is I'm gonna stay away from this because it's a little dicey, right? But if I was leaning, but I am leaning Carolina. Maybe because I got a little soft spot for them. Maybe that's the case. But I've been watching them play, and they're not as bad as their record. They are trending up. Bryce Young has been looking good.
And their defenses looked better recently. They looked bad earlier in the year.
Yeah, they did. But my official stance on this is I lean Carolina, but I'm not going to put it on any slip. I might bet it's by itself, just as a little play money.
I like that. Listen, this Steelers Eagles game, I really wanted to jump on this Eagles game until I started seeing that they were having a little trouble in paradise. You normally don't see teams that are 11-2 bickering about each other, but
they do.
Yeah, Brandon Graham, AJ Brown, has said there's some unhappiness there with AJ Brown, and I thought the whole reason why he went there was because he was friends with Hurts, right? He was friends with the quarterback, so that's where he wanted to go. And now he doesn't like the quarterback because he's not throwing in the ball enough or something.
I made mention of this.
Do you still like it? You still like the Eagles there? Or do you think the Steelers now sneak in? Oh
no, the Eagles, their defense is still kumbaya. So I like this game to be very closer than that 5-point line, to be honest with you. So I guess that's me taking the Steelers. But remember, I said on the No Cap recap show that if there's a chink in the Philadelphia Eagles armor, because I don't believe I think we both agree they're not the best team in the conference. One of our co-hosts does, one of his favorite teams. If there's a chink in their armor, is their passing offense is not where it should be. AJ Brown, for as talented as he is not necessarily showing itself. The fruits of the labor is not showing itself in the stat sheet. And
Dallas Goedert is now on IR.
Devontae Smith is almost like an afterthought for most weeks of the former Heisman winner. It's really just a Saquon show. And correct me if I'm wrong, the Steelers have a very good rush defense. Do they not?
Good question.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, they are the number 3 rushing defense. I'm like I said, I'm leaning towards the Steelers. I like this game to be a lot closer, and I don't think that they're the number 4 rushing defense. I'm sorry, wrong integer. I don't think that those issues on the offensive side of the ball for Philadelphia will get smoothed out over anytime soon, especially not this week when you're playing a team like the Steelers, right? I think that's something that's going to just have to be fixed further down the line. It may even permeate into the playoffs. If you recall, you asked when you opened this segment, like, what good team is bickering like this? Remember Super Bowl 39? Eagles versus the Patriots? T.O. and McNabb bickering while in the Super Bowl. It's par for the course for the Eagles.
I got the Steelers giving up their 10th best yards per attempt on the rush, and that's kind of where I like to stick my head in. Oh no, that's passing. I'm sorry. Passing their 10th. Passing yards per attempt, the Eagles are first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're 4th. The Eagles are also, man, the Eagles have a good defense, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They're 8th in rush. I don't know, man. I just have a gut inclination. I think this one could get out of hand. I think the Eagles could win this by a couple touchdowns.
Really?
Yeah, I think the glass slipper, it's the glass slipper thing. I think going into the season, the Steelers were 8.5 wins with Vegas. I thought that was an easy bet, but I don't see them running this table out. Their schedule is very back-loaded with good teams being at the end of their game. So I think they're poised to lose 2 or 3 games here before the end of the season. So I like the Eagles here to win and cover. Again, probably not a parlay for me, like you said about the last game, Pay, but a single slip, single unit bet, just to give it a little more interest, I'll probably do.
Okay, so I'm on the opposite side of this with you. I think this game would be I think this game is begging to be close. All the metrics tells you that it's going to be a little closer. I'm going to stay away from the total. That total is a little too low for me for these two type of teams. So I would just take Pittsburgh +5.
Is Pickett playing?
No.
Again,
I don't think.
I'm on the Eagles.
I don't think Pickett is that big of a factor, in my opinion.
I do like the next game that's listed here, even though the spread has changed a half point since we started. The Colts go to the Broncos. I think the Broncos defense, their running game, and Bo Nix has obviously been kind of the steal of the draft so far as quarterbacks. I thought they overreached for him, and he's playing pretty good football. I like the Broncos here -4. I don't think the Colts get right in Mile High. I'm leaning Broncos. What are your thoughts?
I agree with you there. I think the Broncos are a little further ahead than what the Colts can offer. I'm still waiting for the pumpkin, for the character to turn back to a pumpkin in Indianapolis. Still the worst team in the NFL with a winning record. I do not like anything with the Colts. I think the
Broncos will turn will cause a couple turnovers in this game. That's biggest difference to me.
Yeah, I can see it happening. And the Colts need this game. They're 2 games behind the Broncos for the last playoff spot. And I don't think it's going to happen for them. I got the Broncos winning this game convincingly, just like you.
Yeah. I think the next game on the docket here, the Buccaneers at the Chargers, is a sneaky good game. I don't want to bet it, but I think it's going to be an entertaining game to watch.
Central Florida flight all the way to SoCal.
It doesn't sound like fun.
No, not fun. That's you give it. You know the old saying, right? The home team gets a field goal, right? And they've got the Chargers just as a field goal favorite. I don't like 3 lines, lines of 3 basically on the spread. I feel like is waiting for action to bend it either which way. It won't. I'll wait on this game. I'm gonna push away from right now.
All right, what about let's see here. We got a Rust Belt game here coming up. Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions. Going to be in the Dome at Ford Field. You know what I like about this game? I like that the number 1 and number 2 scoring offenses are going to be facing off here. I don't care what the over-under is. I'm betting the over.
Yeah.
Give me that over.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I expect to see points. Listen, Detroit, much has been made about Detroit's defense being banged up. No one's really pressed them on it yet. But if anybody's going to do it, it's the guy leading the MVP race.
Yeah. Buffalo's averaging 30.5 points a game.
He had 6 touchdowns last week.
Detroit's averaging 32.1 points per game. This over is below their average. Hit me with it.
Let's go. Any thoughts on who will take the game?
I think the Lions are due to lose one.
Yeah.
I think that's just the way it is. Was that plus 120 on the money line? That might actually interest me. We'll see.
Okay.
But I like the over. I think this is my favorite bet of the week. Number 1, just because I like to bet overs, and I'm rooting for an exciting back and forth matchup here. So when I looked at it, and maybe you can see now, maybe they do, but prop bets weren't out yet on the Detroit running backs. But I think the Detroit running backs are going to have big days.
Well, and then don't forget the other running back on the other side, the James Cook. No, the props aren't out just yet.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that.
Keep an eye on those prop bets, man. I like the Lions prop bets. Maybe anytime touchdown for Montgomery and Gibbs, total yards and rushing yards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's only 3 more games left in the week 15. So,
you like any of them?
Actually, I do not.
Better not like that Bears game. Stay away from that thing.
You got the Patriots versus the Cardinals game of the week. You got Sunday Night Football between the Packers and the Seahawks. And
I like that game.
Really?
I do. McDonald's got those boys playing defense. We've got Geno right now, second in the league in passing yards, playing really well. Jackson Smith and Jigba is 6th in receiving yards. And now you've got Zach Charbonnet starting to turn over a little bit and play well. So they've got dual threat there at running back. So I like the Seahawks here plus 3. I'm going to keep an eye on this one because I have a sneaking suspicion this may end up at plus 3.5. But I like the Seahawks here. 12th man Sunday night game. I think that they normally in a close game will favor that home team. I like the Seahawks here plus 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the what I've been saying all episode. This line is it's stuck at 3, and I don't like that.
I don't think it's stuck at 3. 79% of the public right now betting on the Packers.
Yeah,
keep an eye on this line. I think by Friday it could be 3.5.
I agree. 79%. Well, the Packers have a larger fan base, and they glaze their team a little bit. Seahawks are a better squad. I think they're a little bit more tested in that respect. I think, and as we get closer to the playoffs, they're already in playoff mode. They just won a very gritty game last week. They've been winning gritty games for the last month. The Packers, they lost their only greedy game they've played in the last month, and so you got to prove it to me. That's no shade because I hate the Packers, but it's just a fact of the matter.
Jordan Love hasn't looked like he looked the last 8 games last year.
No, he's very hurt. He's been extremely hurt.
He's hurt. He's been turning over the ball. I think the way the Seahawks defense has been playing here, they're taking on the personality of their coach in McDonald, and I expect them to win this game.
I expect them to win as well. If anything, for right now, I'll take them on the ML, the money line.
Okay.
But I will wait for the spread to give me something a little bit more enticing. The last game of the week, we got the Bears against the Vikings. I am pushing away from the table. I've had enough food. Oh, I'm sorry. This is another doubleheader. Another doubleheader on Monday Night Football. What is the
both dogs?
Yeah, what is the NFL doing? Come on. They got Atlanta versus the Raiders as well on ESPN. Out of these 4 teams, all of them, well, not the Vikings. 3/4 of these 4 teams are trash. The Vikings are playing their best ball of this year. And the Bears are not playing their best ball of the year. I think it's a layup for the Vikings. The Atlanta Falcons have lost 4 games in a row. That's half as many as the Bears have lost in a row. And Kirk Cousins has turned the ball over 8 times in that 4-game span. The Raiders, man, I have nothing good to say about the Raiders. I'm staying away from both of these games.
I agree with you 100%.
All right. Great.
Too volatile,
and I do not want to watch.
I had a fun stat I want to share with you on the running through the jungle today. It has nothing to do really with gambling, but the Bengals' offensive line woes have been kind of well documented over the past 5-6 years. Rookie Amarius Mims, playing right tackle for us, has faced Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett so far this season, and has given up 0 sacks.
Congratulations. You might have found you a dog.
He's got a couple of penalties, but he's given up 0 sacks to those 4 guys. That's pretty bad.
I wish I had a stat like that for my team. Yep. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Now Cody Ford, on the other hand, he has not had that same luck. All right. Let's get this bet slip down to 6. We got pick 6 last week. 4-2 kept us over 60%. Let's go get 6 again. We've hit one all 6-0 week this year. If you're playing that by a parlay, do it. I play parlays with a little bit less money, a half unit kind of bet. I will bet this line across the line, all 6 of them, and it's worked out very well for me so far this year.
All right, we've got 9 bets on the slip. I think what we usually do is if we disagree and they both end the slip, we just cancel it out. You want to continue with that tradition?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we disagreed on the Philadelphia Eagles and the Steelers bet, Steelers game. We just take those 2 off. Makes our work easy. So now we have 1 game to get rid of.
Let's get rid of one of the NBA games.
All right. So if I was to tell you that the most volatile game of those two NBA games was the Detroit Pistons versus the versus the Celtics, would you disagree?
I would not.
All right. I think this is easy. All right. That's 6.
Oh, look at that. All right. So we got the Knicks -6. We got the Rams plus 2.5. We got the Bengals -5. That's going to be the killer of us, isn't it? Damn it. Broncos -4. We got the Detroit over, and that's going to probably be a standing bet for me until proven otherwise. And then we got the Seahawks money line. Oh, that's going to make it nice.
Yeah.
What's our odds on this one?
The odds on this one is 5,979.
Oh, that looks good.
I like it.
All right, I like it. We got down to 6. We're out here 45 minutes. No action. No college football yet. What'd you think about the playoff seeding and the playoffs coming up?
For football, so the playoff seeding, I'll just go ahead and read off what as of right now, what the standings look like. So on the AFC, I'm sorry, you're talking about college football.
Yeah. College football.
I was disappointed that they didn't lean further into the TV aspect of these college football playoffs. And what I mean by that is
kicking SMU out.
Yes. Get rid of those Mustangs. Bring in Roll Tide. People like me that don't really have a rooting interest, we want to see the teams we know about. We want to see the players we know. I don't know nothing about SMU, but I'm going to watch it anyway. But I'd rather see Alabama just for the high drama. If Alabama gets smoked,
really like the Indiana Notre Dame game.
Oh yeah,
that's a fun one. In state, they never play each other. That's gonna be pretty cool. Here's another thing that I'm gonna point out. So the seeding stuff has been talked about a lot, right? It looks like right now Oregon got the number 1 seeding, and that their road to the national championship as a result may have to play Georgia and Texas. What the hell? They didn't do that right in my mind. What I think they should do is play the first round, all the teams win, and whoever the lowest seed that advances to plays 1. The second lowest seed advance plays 2. The third lowest seed advance plays 3. I think they should do it that way. I know the argument is going to be that, well, then the teams with a bye don't get the advantage of scouting the 2 teams that they are going to play. They're only going to be able to play 4 teams. They're already scouting 2. Scout the 4 lowest seeds. You're probably going to play 1. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever. You get the extra week to get healthy. I think you would rather play a lower seed than play Georgia and Texas back-to-back, in my personal opinion. If I get an opportunity to play Clemson instead, I'd much rather play Clemson.
Right. And college football still gets a lot of free labor. So, I mean, if you got to put a little extra work in, get to it.
That's right. All right. Well, that's everything for PayDirt this week, man. I feel good about this one. We're on a little 4-2 run. Not that that's bad, but I'd like to hit me a little 5-1 or 6-0. What do you think?
I'm going for the 6. Shout out to Drake.
Well, get these bets in and catch us again. We'll be back to our regular scheduled time and program, I believe, next week. We should be back at Wednesday at 6:35. We will have to adjust the Christmas edition, I'm sure. But next week we should be back at 6:35. So catch us live again next week as you reach PayDirt.